As they continue their journey, they discover that the coconuts they had left on the seashore have been broken open, not by a human. Elin panics, fearing it might be a tiger, but Chintian calms her, explaining that tigers don't eat coconuts. He notices a trail and suggests other coconut-eating creatures. Elin recalls coconut crabs, and they follow a small trail, leading them to one of these large creatures climbing a coconut tree. The sight of its massive claws makes Elin's mouth water. They prepare to catch it, but before they can, the crab descends. Chintian assures Elin that it has nowhere to run. As Elin watches, Chintian confidently approaches the crab. With a skilled maneuver, he grabs an open coconut the crab had cracked. Elin realizes his true intention to use the crab to open coconuts. Chintian repeats the process, leaving Elin in awe of his resourcefulness. With swift movements, he manages to tie down the coconut crab. As they made their way back to the campsite, Elin's voice broke the silence, requesting a break. She pointed out that it was already the third day, and they hadn't seen any sign of rescue teams. Jintian's worry was evident, but Ailin tried to reassure herself, suggesting that it might take up to a week for help to arrive. With determination she started walking again, although Jintian couldn't shake off his concern. They eventually arrived back at the stream, where a pleasant surprise awaited them. Their fish trap had successfully caught something. Jintian instructed Elin to head back to the camp while he handled the fish. Jintian's mind was racing as he prepared the fish, his thoughts centered around the points he had earned from the system. He realized he had accumulated enough points to make a purchase from the shop. With the fish cooked and their meal satisfying, Elin started to build a stove using rocks to cook a coconut crab. The island was providing for them, in its own way. Nightfall approached, and Jintian was ready to take over the night watch from Elin. As she lay down to rest, she heard a sudden tap on her shoulder, causing her to startle and reach for her hammer. Her heart racing, she realized it was Jintian. She insisted that she hadn't called him yet, but Jintian reassured her that she needed her rest. With a sense of unease, Elin eventually drifted off to sleep. In the midst of the night, Jintian saw an opportunity to explore the shop. He was curious about the books available for purchase and selected one about manufacturing tools. To his surprise, as he absorbed the knowledge, he felt empowered. This new information could extend their survival on the island. Jintian's luck continued when he spotted the lucky wheel in the shop. With a spin, he won a substantial prize worth 10,000 points. Despite considering himself unlucky, he decided to save the prize for later. Morning arrived, and Elin awoke to the aroma of freshly caught fish. Grateful for Jintian's efforts, she urged him to inform her before leaving the camp next time. As they cooked the fish, Elin's shyness surfaced, and she blushed while asking Jintian not to go to the stream. Jintian took the opportunity to remind her of the importance of preserving the water's cleanliness. Realizing they hadn't taken a proper bath since their arrival, Jintian couldn't help but notice a distinct odor. He decided to venture out in search of other resources, leaving Ailin at the campsite. His exploration led him to discover wild oyster mushrooms, a potential addition to their diet. With the system's assistance, he was able to identify most resources, although some remained mysterious. Spotting a rabbit, Jintian tried to catch it for an additional food source, but the agile creature eluded him. He hurried back to Elin upon hearing her scream. Concern etched on his face, Jintian reached Elin, who claimed to have encountered a snake. Reacting swiftly, he grabbed the creature, only to discover it was an eel. Despite the momentary panic, Jintian's mind was still set on diversifying their meals. As Elin finished her bath, she noticed Jintian waiting for her. Feeling a bit self-conscious, she playfully scolded him for staring. Blushing, Jintian couldn't help but admit that she looked beautiful. With an embarrassed smile, Ailin headed back to their camp. She gets frustrated with herself for feeling shy about Jintian's words. Jintian too didn't expect to say those things. He takes off his clothes and plans to search for more eels. He spots holes in the wet mud and covers one to prevent any danger from crabs or snakes. He recalls a time from his youth when he accidentally grabbed a water snake instead of an eel. To attract the eels, he uses watergrass on a stick as bait. He feels a tug, pulls out an eel, and heads back to the camp with his catch. Elin expresses concern about their ability to manage everything at once. Jintian suggests smoking the meat to make it last longer. He smokes the eel meat, preserving it for weeks or even months. Elin offers to help and wants to contribute more since Jintian is doing so much. He decides to teach her how to make ropes from tree bark for the windshield they're working on. He leaves Elin to check a trap in the stream, building a small lake nearby to store the caught fish. They cook the eel meat with berries, and Elin is delighted by the delicious taste, and Jintian heads back to where he found mushrooms. With the eels gone, He plans to catch wild rabbits instead. In a flashback, he and Elin improve their shelter by making a safer, larger windshield. Qintian seeks out rabbits' hiding spots and sets traps with burning fungi to smoke them out. He catches several rabbits, including their offspring, and brings them back to camp. Elin is excited about the rabbits, and Qintian is impressed by her rope-making skills. They discuss whether to eat the rabbits now or fatten them up first. As they have dinner, the rabbit meat's odor prompts Elin to ask about Qintian's cheerful demeanor. Elin remains hopeful that a rescue team will arrive the next day, but Qintian starts a fire using a bow and friction, revealing his concern for their prolonged situation. The next morning they reach the shore, expecting to wait until nightfall. Dust fills the air, and Elin's despair grows while Qintian worries about their situation. Elin grabs his hand tightly, tears streaming down her face. She cries out, fearing they'll be stranded on the island forever. Her sobs continue, and Qintian responds by gently slapping her. Confused, Elin asks why. Qintian explains that she needs to let her emotions out. Elin clings to him as her crying subsides. Qintian assures her, "I'm here with you." The night passes and morning arrives. Elin playfully slaps Qintian, a hint of gratitude in her eyes. She tries to change the subject, suggesting they check the low tide. Qintian corrects her, saying they should eat first. Sitting together, they share a meager meal. Elin reads from a book, sharing that people missing for 2 years can be declared legally dead. Qintian counters that a rescue team wouldn't give up so soon. Elin's frustration surfaces, annoyed by his negativity. Qintian proposes building a boat to escape the island, earning Elin's admiration. Returning from the shore with seafood, they're relieved to have a catch. They cook and eat, but Elin realizes they can't rely on seafood forever. Qintian's tired eyes show his worry. After a nap, he asks Elin to wake him for night watch. Morning comes and Qintian is annoyed that Elin didn't wake him. She blames herself. Qintian goes out to search for resources, then heads to the shore for seafood. In the distance, he spots a bamboo forest. Excited, he heads toward it, hoping it will offer new possibilities. Cutting down bamboo is challenging, but Qintian perseveres. He collects bamboo shoots and returns to camp. Elin hands him burnt fish, and he hesitates before trying it. Elin apologizes for wasting food. Qintian reassures her and suggests eating oysters instead. Night falls, and Elin asks about the bamboo. Qintian explains his plan to make a fish trap. Elin eagerly helps, and together they create useful tools. Qintian praises Elin's work. As a new day dawns, Qintian is impressed by Elin's transformation. He scolds her lightly but recognizes her need for rest. They set out again, heading to the bamboo forest. Elin finds bamboo shoots and discovers a herd of wild boars. She rushes back to Qintian. Qintian gets surprised, and Elin points in the direction of the boars. Qintian grabs Elin's hands and tells her to run and leave the place quickly. Though they are carnivores, wild boars can attack ferociously. However, more wild boars appear on the side where they came out. Qintian signals Elin to be quiet, but the wild boars smell them. The two then quickly ran away. However, the boars are fast. Elin is tired, but she can't hold back Qintian. Elin tells Qintian to go and leave her. Qintian gets mad at the movie cliché. He then faces the herd of boars and shouts out loud. The boars freeze in place and Qintian continues making loud noises. It works well and he throws his stone axe at the herd of boars. The herd runs away and Qintian falls to the ground in relief. Elin gets worried and Qintian tells her that he is fine and they need to move now. Qintian notices a boar left alone and notices that it is wounded. A boar left alone will feel terrified and become more aggressive. Qintian throws his axe at the boar and baits it. He tells Elin to go back to their camp. Qintian then activates his skill and he gets faster like a leopard. He gets far away, but the skill drains too much of his energy. He falls to the ground thinking that he escaped from the boar already. Just then, birds create a ruckus nearby. Qintian wonders if it is the boar, and yes, it is. Qintian gets surprised and climbs a nearby tree. He feels lucky that the boar can't climb. The boar starts striking the tree, and Qintian grabs onto the tree until the boar gets tired and stops as it walks away. Qintian remembers how precious pork is. He jumps off the tree and confronts the boar. The boar charges at him, which Qintian quickly dodges. The boar hits the tree, making it unconscious. Qintian finishes it off, but the boar had too much vitality. Qintian continues attacking it until it falls dead. He receives points for hunting the wild boar. The wild boar is too heavy, so he plans to get it back the next day after resting and recovering. He hopes that no other predators will find the boar. What will happen next? Find out next time by staying tuned for our future recaps. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great recaps.